The strongest manifestation technique that I've personally used many times is visualization. And I'm a Pisces, so visualization is always going to come naturally to me. The daydreaming, the imagining, the deep sleep and dreams, and then waking up and thinking about that dream, and then seeing something in real life that reminds me of that dream because now I'm thinking about it. Visualization is so incredibly powerful. And in this video, we're going to go over the spiritual aspect of it and the psychological aspects of it, because I know some people that may come across this video may be very skeptical of it, and they may not like attuned to the spiritual side of it, even though it is spiritual at the same time. So we're going to go over both, and we're going to show the real power of manifestation through visualization. And the reason why I do say that it's the most powerful one is because we've all heard this phrase of your thoughts create your reality, or it's the mindset that you have that creates the results that you're going to get. So everything starts mentally. Before anything else begins, the first step is the mental part of it. Right before that you take a test, you have to prepare your mental. Right before you have to, go to your football game, basketball game that you're about to play in, you have to mentally be prepared. Everything that you do, you have to mentally prepare. Even when you have a great idea, you have to first visualize that idea first. That's to pop up in your head, and you have to sort through it mentally. Then you start going about it, right? When you're hungry and you're like, dang, what food should I eat? Your brain is going to come up with ideas. You're going to visualize and see different things in your head of like, okay, maybe I want a burger, or maybe I want a pizza. You're going to imagine stuff first. If you're an artist and you're about to create a great graphic or a flyer for something, you have to imagine what you want on the flyer, what you want there. So when it comes to the spiritual aspect of visualization, I have to go over the universal laws. I'm not going to go over all 10, but I'm only going to go over the law of vibration and the law of attraction. So with the law of vibration, that is the law that states that everything in the universe vibrates. Everything has a vibration. It has an energy to it. And then with the law of attraction, as we know, like attracts like. So if your energy, your frequency that's vibrating on a certain level, it attracts the same thing like unto itself. So for example, the idea is that you are operating as a prosperous person, and you already feel abundant and like you have money. You eventually will attract money to you because that reality has been created and you attract it to yourself. You're always attracting something to yourself. That's a very foundational part of manifestation. You have to pull something towards you. You're not running after it. You're pulling it to you, okay? So when it comes to that in visualization, we have to get ourselves on the energetic level to attract. And I feel like the fastest way is through your mind. Because like I said earlier, your mind is what sets everything else up that you want in your life. Any idea or anything you desire, it's going to come from that mind. So if you learn how to focus your mind onto something, you are able to put yourself in the vibration of having something. For example, if you visualize your greatest fear, for mine, I really have a fear of spiders really bad. So if you visualize a spider on you, you're going to be in the vibration of fear quickly. Soon as you get your mind to see that spider and feel like it's on you or around you, or you're thinking about the image of one, you instantly can put your whole body into fear, and your body starts to produce chemicals on a biological level. It's producing chemicals based on how you're feeling now. And where did that feeling come from? Your mind. The spider's not in front of you, it's not on you, but you're thinking about it, and it's putting your energy in a certain state. So now you're going to attract another situation that's going to bring more fear if you allow yourself to stay in a fearful state. Another example, let's say that you're really, really attracted to someone, or you're watching some adult content. You notice how when you're attracted to someone, it can put you in a certain states within your body where you want to do a certain thing with that person, if you get what I mean. You want to do a certain thing with that person, you get riled up, you get excited, and it's like you're not even with this person. You haven't had sex with them or done anything with them yet, but you're already riled up. You can feel it in your body as if you've already done it. And it's like that energy is built up in the body. So my point of this is saying that when you visualize, you're putting yourself in the state of already having instantly. You already feel like you have it and you're with someone or you have that money just by thinking that you do. It's like a cheat code to altering your vibration quickly. Now that we understand the spiritual aspect, when it comes to the practical aspect or the biological aspect, we know that, like I said before, when we think of something, we are putting our brain in a certain state, even though it has not existed yet. And there's tons of research that has been done on something called mental rehearsal. This is something that I learned from Dr. Joe Dispenza's book, Becoming Supernatural. And mental rehearsal is where you think of an event or something before it happens. Therefore, when the event comes, your brain is already biologically going to do a certain thing and be prepared for the event. For example, I think they did a study on students or kids that play piano. And they did a study where one group visualized before they played the piano, and they did much better than a group of kids or people that didn't visualize before they played the piano. They rehearsed in their mind what they were going to do before they did it, and it's like they already programmed themselves to do it. How does this relate to manifestation? On a practical level, if you're trying to do something, you're trying to win a basketball game, a football game, you have a presentation coming up, you want to visualize the classroom or visualize the court, visualize where you're going to be and what you're doing. So you're already mentally preparing your brain to have it. You're already putting yourself mentally in that state where you are able to do this thing or have this thing. Also, there's research done on the neuroplasticity of the brain, which basically means that when the brain is in a certain state and you believe yourself to be a certain thing and your brain is putting out new chemicals, it's altering the way that your brain is actually like made up. Like based on what you focus on, your brain is going to change with that type of thought stream. So if your brain is on a certain level, it's going to change. The neuroplasticity, meaning it can mold and change based on what you're thinking. Another thing when it comes to our biology is that we are electromagnetic, which basically means that there's electricity running through here. The brain and the heart, there's electricity running through your whole body. And the molecules, they're electromagnetic to each other. And if we go back to the law of vibration, which is about atoms and molecules, this can also go back to the spiritual aspect where it's like we are electromagnetic, which means there's electricity, and the magnetic part is about attraction, going back to the law of attraction. So we are electromagnetic, we have an energy of electricity, and we are able to pull situations and things into our lives. We are electromagnetic on a physical level. We are also electromagnetic on a spiritual level, meaning we're able to pull people, places, and things that we desire to us based on our emotions. And I think it's really interesting that when it comes to something being electromagnetic, it's based on the brain and on the heart. And the heart is associated with your emotions, and the brain is associated with visualization. Therefore, in conclusion, if you visualize with your brain something happening, that electromagnetic frequency, that energy that also is tied to your heart, your emotions, can pull things in towards you. So what I'm trying to say is that we're very powerful beings, and that with our body, on a physical level, we're doing things, but on a spiritual level, we're also attracting it to us based off our energy. The key word is energy, and we're attracting all the time. We are magnetic, literally. So I want to share with you one experiment that I did with visualization 2 years ago when I was first getting into it. And I was taking judo, which is a martial art or a form of martial arts. And basically, I wasn't really good at it. And we had a final coming up and I was very nervous about it. So I just had read this book of Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza, and I was talking about it with some friends as well. So I was like, okay, I'm going to try it. I'm going to use it. So I was very nervous about this final because we had to use all these moves that we learned throughout the semester, and I wasn't very good at it. Sometimes I could land them, sometimes I couldn't. So I was like, okay, I'm going to visualize. I did it 2 times. I visualized, I was like, okay, this is what I want to happen. I visualized my sensei or professor giving me a high five, saying I did a good job. I visualized the scores that I would have on each move. And I visualized my friends in the class like clapping for me and being happy for me doing it. And I swear, and I think this is how I know it worked, because when I went I got almost perfect scores somehow. And then my professor, which he never did before, gave me a high five. Literally right behind me, there's a shorter girl who was like a friend I just made in the class. And she was clapping and she was like, wow, you did a really good job. And I ended up doing all the moves perfectly. I don't know how. I don't know what came over me to do all these moves perfectly, but it was that high five and the clapping that was significant because that was what was in my visualization. Those were like key things that I realized, like, oh my God, like I made this happen because I wasn't good at doing these moves 2 days ago. And then the fact that this happened in the way that I saw it, I was amazed. And this is something that I honestly have done a poor job at remembering, but honestly, out of all manifestation techniques, visualization has been the most potent and strongest for me. I don't know if it's because I'm a Pisces and we're supposed to visualize and we're good at our imagination. I don't know what it is. But out of all manifestation techniques, this has worked very powerfully because visualization has worked the fastest, I would say, and the most potent. Not saying the other ones don't work at all. I think in my experience, visualization has worked the fastest. But yeah, that's all that I have in this video when it comes to visualization. Let me know if you want me to make a part 2 to this video and go over like maybe celebrity stories or other people that have used visualization for their success. Or just let me know down below, what's your story when it comes to visualization? Have you used it or will you use it? Or do you think it's fake? Do you think it's made up? Do you think it's not works? It's not works. It doesn't work, or it's a placebo. Let me know. And if you watch this video to the very end, I want you to comment a water emoji, like a river or ocean emoji, some water. So I know that you watched to the very end. And yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all the amazing, beautiful things. And I will see you guys in my next video. See you later.